Sita Gauravaram Pranamami Sachi Sutta Gauravaram Pranamami Sachi Sutta Gauravaram. Hari Bhakti Param Hari Nam Dharam Karo Japya Param Hari Nam Param Nayami Shataram Pranaya Shudharam Pranamami Sachi Sutta Gauravaram Pranamami Sachi Sutta Gauravaram Pranamami Sachi Sutta Gauravaram. Shatatam Janata Bhavo Tapuharam Parumarthopar.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya, Jai Nityananda, Jai Advaita Chandra, Gaura Bhaktivinoda, Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya, Jai Nityananda, Jai Advaita Chandra, Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya, Jai Nityananda, Jai Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhaktivinoda, Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya, Jai Nityananda, Jai Advaita Chandra, So, continuation of Madhya Lila. Tonight we're starting on chapter 18. Text 1. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu traveled all over Vrindavan and pleased all living entities, moving and non-moving, with his glances. The Lord took much personal pleasure in seeing everyone. In this way, Lord Gauranga traveled in Vrindavan. Let me just put that on silent. All glories to Lord Gaurachandra. All glories to Lord Nityananda Prabhu. All glories to Advaita Prabhu. And all glories to all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya, headed by Srivas Thakur. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu danced in ecstasy. But when he arrived at Aridgram, his sense perception was awakened. Purport. Aridgram is also called Aristogram. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu understood that in that village Aristasura had been killed by Sri Krishna. While there, he inquired about Radhakund, but no one could tell him where it was. The Brahmin accompanying him could also not ascertain its whereabouts. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu could then understand that the holy places known as Radhakund and Chamakund were at that time lost to everyone's vision. He therefore discovered Radhakund and Chamakund, which were two reservoirs of water in two paddy fields. Although there was very little water, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was omniscient and could understand that formerly these two ponds were called Sri Radhakund and Chamakund. In this way, Radhakund and Chamakund were discovered. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked the local people, "Where is Radhakund?" No one could inform him, and the Brahmin accompanying him did not know either. The Lord then understood that the holy place called Radhakund was no longer visible. However, being the omniscient Supreme Personality of Godhead, he discovered Radhakund and Chamakund in two paddy fields. There was only a little water, but he took his bath there. When the people of the village saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taking his bath in those two ponds in the middle of the paddy fields, they were very much astonished. The Lord then offers his prayers to Sri Radhakund. Of all the gopis, Radharani is the dearmost. Similarly, the lake known as Radhakund is very dear to the Lord because it is very dear to Srimati Radharani. Just as Srimati Radharani is most dear to Lord Krishna, so her lake, known as Radhakund, is also very dear to him. Of all the gopis, Srimati Radharani is certainly the most beloved. This is a verse from the Padma Purana. In that lake, Lord Krishna and Srimati Radharani used to sport daily in the water and have a rasa dance on the bank. Indeed, Lord Krishna gives ecstatic love like that of Srimati Radharani to whoever bathes in that lake even once in his life. The attraction of Radhakund is as sweet as that of Srimati Radharani. Similarly, the glories of the Radhakund lake are as great as Srimati Radharani's. Because of its wonderful transcendental qualities, Radhakund is as dear to Krishna as Srimati Radharani. It was in that lake that the all-often of Lord Sri Krishna performed his pastimes with Srimati Radharani with great pleasure and transcendental bliss. Whoever bathes just once in Radhakund attains Srimati Radharani's loving attraction for Sri Krishna. Who within this world can describe the glories and sweetness of Sri Radhakund? Purport. This verse is found in Govinda Lilamrita. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thus offered prayers to Radhakund. Overwhelmed by ecstatic love, he danced on the bank, remembering the pastimes of Lord Krishna performed on the bank of Radhakund. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then marked his body with tilak, made from the mud of Radhakund. And with the help of Balabhadra Bhattacharya, he collected some of the mud and took it with him. From Radhakund, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Sumanas lake. When he saw Govardhan hill from there, he was overwhelmed with joy. When the Lord saw Govardhan hill, he immediately offered obeisances, falling down on the ground like a rod. He embraced one piece of rock from Govardhan hill and became mad. Mad with ecstatic love, the Lord came to the village known as Govardhan. There, he saw the deity named Haridev and offered his obeisances unto him. Haridev is an incarnation of Narayan, and his residence is on the western petal of the lotus of Mathura. The people were astonished when they saw Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's ecstatic love and personal beauty. The priests who served the Haridev deity offered the Lord a good reception. At Brahmakund, the Bhattacharya cooked food, and the Lord, after taking his bath at Brahmakund, accepted his lunch. That night the Lord stayed at the temple of Haridev, and during the night he began to reflect. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu thought, since I shall not at any time climb Govardhan Hill, how shall I be able to see the Gopal Rai? Thinking in this way, the Lord remained silent. And Lord Gopal, knowing his contemplation, played a trick. Coming down from Govardhan Hill, Lord Gopal granted an interview to Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who was unwilling to climb the hill, thinking himself a devotee of Lord Krishna. Gopal stayed in a village called Ankot Gram on Govardhan Hill. The villagers who lived in that village were mainly from Rajasthan. The village purport, the village name Ankot Gram is referred to in Bhakti Ratnakara. Quote, here, all the gopis and gopas enjoyed wonderful pastimes with Sri Krishna. Therefore, this place is also called Aniyora. The Ankot ceremony was celebrated here. O Srinivas, whoever sees this place has all his desires fulfilled. It is also stated, look at the dense forest near the Kund. It was there that Gopal was concealed. Also, the Stava Valley Brajavilas Stava by Raghunath Das Goswami states, quote, when Nanda Maharaj offered a large quantity of food to Govardhan Hill, Krishna assumed a gigantic form and eagerly invited everyone to ask boons from him. Then, deceiving even Srimati Radharani, he ate all the offered food. Let me take shelter of the place known as Anakot, where Lord Krishna enjoyed these pastimes. One person who came to the village informed the inhabitants, the Turkish soldiers are now preparing to attack your village. Flee this village tonight and do not allow one person to remain. Take the deity with you and leave, for the Muslim soldiers will come tomorrow. Hearing this, all the villagers became very anxious. They first took Gopal and moved him to a village known as Gantuli. The Gopal deity was kept in the house of a Brahmin, and his worship was conducted secretly. Everyone fled, and thus the village of Ankot was deserted. Due to fear of the Muslims, the Gopal deity was moved from one place to another again and again. Thus, giving up his temple, Lord Gopal would sometimes live in a bush and sometimes in one village after another. In the morning, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took his bath in a lake called Manasaganga. He then circumambulated the Govardhan Hill. Just by seeing the Govardhan Hill, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became ecstatic with love of Krishna. While dancing and dancing, he recited the following verse. Of all the devotees, this Govardhan Hill is the best. O my friends, this hill supplies Krishna and Balaram, as well as their calves, cows, and cowherd friends, with all kinds of necessities. Water for drinking, very soft grass, caves, fruits, flowers, and vegetables. In this way, the hill offers respect to the Lord. Being touched by the lotus feet of Krishna and Balaram, Govardhan Hill appears very jubilant. Purport. This is a quotation from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th Canto. It was spoken by the gopis when Lord Krishna and Balaram entered the forest in autumn. The gopis spoke among themselves and glorified Krishna and Balaram for their pastime. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then took his bath in a lake called Govinda Kund. And while he was there, he heard that the Gopal deity had already gone to Ganduli Gram. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then went to the village of Ganduli Gram and there saw the Lord Gopal deity. Overwhelmed by ecstatic love, he began to chant and dance. As soon as the Lord saw the beauty of the Gopal deity, he was immediately overwhelmed by ecstatic love. And he recited the following verse. He then chanted and danced until the day ended. Purport. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur gives the following information about Govinda Kund. There is a village named Angora on Govardhan Hill, a little distance from the village of Paita. Govinda Kund is situated near here, and there are 2 temples to Govinda and Baladev there. According to some, Queen Padmavati excavated this lake. In the Bhakti Ratnakara 5th wave, the following statement is found. Govinda Kund is exalted for its many spiritual activities. It was here that Indra, defeated by Lord Govinda, offered prayers to him and bathed him. In the book Stava Valley Raja Vilas Stava, the following verse is found. With humility caused by great fear, Indra took hold of the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, and in the company of a Surabi cow performed his coronation festival by bathing him with the waters of the heavenly Ganges river. Thus, Lord Krishna's kingship over the cows became splendidly manifest. I pray that Govinda Kund, the lake created by that ceremonial bath, may eternally appear before my eyes. Simply by bathing in Govinda Kund, one is awarded liberation. This lake was produced when Bhagavan Sri Krishna was bathed by Lord Indra. Dantuligram is situated near the 2 villages, Vilachu and Gopalpura. According to hearsay, Radha and Krishna first met here. In the Bhakti Ratnakara, it is stated the 2 concealed themselves by tying their outer garments together. It is also stated when Vaiguya they undid the knot. With Vaiguya they undid the knot. For this reason, the village is known as Gantuli. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, may the left arm of Sri Krishna, whose eyes are like the petals of a lotus flower, always protect you with his left arm waved over that hill, as if it were a toy. Purport. This verse is found in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw the Gopal deity for 3 days. On the 4th day, the deity returned to his own temple. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu walked with the deity of Gopal and he chanted and danced. A large and jubilant crowd of people also chanted the transcendental name of Krishna, Hari Hari. The Gopal deity then returned to his own temple and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu remained at the bottom of the hill. Thus, all the desires of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were satisfied by the Gopal deity. This is the way of Lord Gopal's kind behavior to his devotees. Seeing this, the devotees were overwhelmed by ecstatic love. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very eager to see Gopal, but he did not want to climb the Govardhan hill. Therefore, by some trick, the Gopal deity personally descended. In this way, giving some excuse, Gopal sometimes remains in the bushes of the forest, and sometimes he stays in the village. One who is a devotee comes to see the deity. The 2 brothers, Rupa and Sanatan, did not climb the hill. To them also, Lord Gopal granted an interview. In ripe old age, Srila Rupa Goswami could not go there, but he had a desire to see the beauty of Gopal. Due to fear of the Muslims, Gopal went to Mathura, where he remained in the house of Vitaleshwara for 1 month. Purport. When the 2 brothers, Srila Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, went to Vrindavan, they decided to live there. Following Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's example, they did not climb the hill because they considered it non-different from Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. On some pretext, the Gopal deity granted Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu an audience beneath the hill, and Gopal similarly favored Srila Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami. During his ripe old age, when Rupa Goswami could not go to Govardhan Hill because of invalidity, Gopal kindly went to Mathura and remained at the house of Vitalisvara for 1 month. It was then that Srila Rupa Goswami could see Gopal's beauty to his heart's content. The following description concerning Vitalisvara is given in Bhakti Ratnakara. Sri Vallabha Bhatta had 2 sons. The elder, Gopinath, was born in 1432, Christian era 1510, and the younger, Vitalisvara, was born in Christian era 1515, and he died in 1585. Vitalisvara had 7 sons: Giridhara, Govinda, Balakrishna, Gokalesha, Raghunath, Yadunath, and Gyanasham. Vitalisvara completed many of his father's unfinished books, including his commentary on Vedanta Sutra, the Subodhini commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam. Vidvan Madana, Shringar Rasa Madana, and Yasa Desha Vivara. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Vrindavan before the birth of Vitalisvara. As previously mentioned, Srila Rupa Goswami was very old at the time Gopal stayed at the house of Vitalisvara. Srila Rupa Goswami and his associates stayed in Mathura for 1 month and saw the Gopal deity. When Rupa Goswami stayed at Mathura, he was accompanied by Gopal Bhatta Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, and Lokanath Das Goswami. Purport. Sri Lokanath Goswami was a personal associate of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and a great devotee of the Lord. He was a resident of a village named Talakadi in the district of Yasohara, Jessore. In Bengal previously, he lived in Kanchanapad. His father's name was Padmanabha, and his only sibling was a younger brother named Pragalabha. Following the orders of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Lokanath went to Vrindavan to live. He established a temple named Gokulananda. Sri Narottam Das Thakur selected Lokanath Das Goswami to be his spiritual master, and Narottam Das Thakur was his only disciple. Because Lokanath Das Goswami did not want his name mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, we do not often see it in this celebrated book. On the EBR railroad, the Yasohara station is located in Bangladesh. From the railway station, one has to go by bus to the village of Shonakali, and from there to Kejura. From there, one has to walk, or during the rainy season, go by boat to the village of Talakadi. In this village, there are still descendants of Lokanath Goswami's younger brother. Bhugarva Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, Sri Yadava Acharya, and Govinda Goswami also accompanied Srila Rupa Goswami. He was also accompanied by Sri Uddhava Das, Madhava, Sri Gopal Das, and Narayan Das. The great devotee Govinda, Vani Krishna Das, Pundarikaksha Das, Ishana and Laghu Haridas also accompanied him. Purport. Laghu Haridas should not be confused with Junior Haridas, who committed suicide at Prayag. Generally, a devotee is called Haridas, and consequently, there are many Haridasas. The chief was Thakur Haridas. There was also a Madhyam Haridas. In the Bhakti Ratnakara, there is a list of many of the chief devotees who accompanied Srila Rupa Goswami. It was with great jubilation that Rupa Goswami visited Lord Gopal, accompanied by all these devotees. After staying at Mathura for 1 month, the Gopal deity returned to his own place, and Sri Rupa Goswami returned to Vrindavan. In the course of this story, I have given a description of Lord Gopal's mercy. After seeing the Gopal deity, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Sri Kamyavan. Purport. Kamyavan is mentioned in the Adi Varaha Purana. Lord Shiva said, "The best of all forests is the fourth of these, named Kamyaka. O Goddess Devi, any person who goes there is eligible to enjoy the glories of my abode. In the Bhakti Ratnakara, it is also said, in this Kanyavan, Krishna performed enchanting pastime. Here you would be able to take darshan of many ponds and other transcendental spots. I cannot even describe in writing all the sacred tirthas found at Kanyavan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's tour in Vrindavan has been previously described. In the same ecstatic way, he travelled all over Vrindavan. After visiting the places of Krishna's pastimes at Kanyavan, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Dandeshwara. While there, he was overwhelmed with ecstatic love. Purport. Nandeshwara is the house of Maharaj Nanda. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu bathed in all the celebrated lakes, beginning with Lake Pavana. Thereafter, he climbed a hill and spoke to the people. Purport. The Pavana Sarovara is described in Mathura Mahatmya. One who bathes in Pavana Lake by Nandeshwara Hill will see Krishna there along with Nanda and Yashoda and will fulfill all his desires. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked, are there any deities on top of this hill? The local people replied, there are deities on this hill, but they are located within a cave. There are a father and mother with well-built bodies, and between them is a very beautiful child who is curved in 3 places. Hearing this, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became very happy. After excavating the cave, he saw the 3 deities. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu offered his respects to Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yashoda, and with great ecstatic love, he touched the body of Lord Sri Krishna. Every day, the Lord chanted and danced in ecstatic love. Finally, he went to Kadiravan. Kadiravan is described in the Bhakti Ratnakara. Behold, the forest named Kadiravan, renowned throughout the universe. If one comes to Kadiravan, he can immediately be elevated to Vishnu Loka. After seeing the places of Lord Krishna's pastimes, Sri Chaitanya went to Shesha, where he saw Lakshmi and recited the following verse. O dearly beloved, your lotus feet are so soft that we place them gently on our breasts, fearing that your feet will be hurt. Our life rests only in you. Our minds, therefore, are filled with anxiety that your tender feet might be wounded by pebbles as you roam about on the forest path. Purport. This is a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, spoken by the gopis when Krishna left them in the midst of the Rasa Leela. Afterwards, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saw Kaila Tirtha and then went to Bandiravan. After crossing the Yamuna River, he went to Badravan. Purport. In the Bhakti Ratnakara, it is said that Sri Krishna and Balaram used to play at Kaila Tirtha with the cowherd boys during the entire day. Mother Yashoda had to call them to take their baths and eat their lunch. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then visited Shrivan and Lohavan. He then went to Mahavan and saw Gokula, the place of Lord Krishna's early childhood pastime. Purport. Of Shrivan, also called Bilvavan, the Bhakti Ratnakara states, the beautiful forest of Bilvavan is worshipped by all the demigods. About Lohavan, the Bhakti Ratnakara states, at Lohavan, Lord Krishna used to tend the cows. The demon named Loha Janga was killed at this place. Mahavan is described as follows in the Bhakti Ratnakara. Behold the house of Nanda and Yashoda in Mahavan. See the birthplace of Lord Krishna. Mahavan and the birthplace of Lord Krishna Gokul are one and the same. Upon seeing the place where the twin Arjuna trees had been broken by Sri Krishna, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was moved to great ecstatic love. After seeing Gokul, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned to Mathura, where he saw the birthplace of the Lord. While there, he stayed at the house of the Sanodiya Brahmin. Seeing a great crowd assemble at Mathura, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left and went to Akrura Tirtha. He remained there in solitary place. Purple. Akrura Tirtha is also mentioned in the Bhakti Ratnakara. O Srinivas, look at this village of Akrura. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed there in a solitary place. The next day, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Vrindavan and took his bath at Kaliya Lake and Prashkananda. Kaliya Brad is mentioned as Bhakti Ratnakara. When one takes a bath in Kaliya Hrada, he is freed from all sinful reactions. One can also be successful in business by bathing in Kaliya Hrada. After seeing the holy place called Prashkananda, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to Dwadasaditya. From there, he went to Keshi Tirtha, and when he saw the place where the rasa dance had taken place, he immediately lost consciousness due to ecstatic love. When the Lord regained his senses, he began to roll on the ground, and he would sometimes laugh, cry, dance, and fall down. He would also chant very softly. Being thus transcendently amused, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu passed that day happily at Keshi Tirtha. In the evening, he returned to Akrura Tirtha, where he took his meal. The next morning, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned to Vrindavan and took his bath at Chiragat. He then went to Tantuli Tala, where he took rest. So we'll finish there, and we'll continue tomorrow from text 76. The Lord's visit to Vrindavan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai. Sri Prabhupada jai. It's a beautiful section of the system. Yeah. It's just so sweet. It's all these like pastimes within pastimes that we almost never get to hear about. Yeah.